Welcome to the live stream. Hope y'all having a great day. Whew, 2 weeks off and I was completely lost. Yeah, man. Oh, I wonder if anyone's going to show up. They might think I just gave it up completely. Whew. It was a rough 2 weeks, but well, it wasn't that rough, but there's been worse. So yeah, let's just get it started. Whew. Sometimes you just need to take a break from things and start over, and yeah, that's how it went. I just felt like, man, if you go watch the last 2 or 3 live streams before I took those 2 week breaks, 2 week breaks, it was like getting the loser bug, or it's just like, man, I was just burning out, or not into it, or I don't know what was going on. I just wasn't feeling it for some reason. So yeah, I took a break. In fact, I think I took a whole week off from YouTube and making videos altogether. And I think the first week I didn't even do Instagram or anything. I just like shut down all social media and just decided, yeah, I'm taking a break. And then the funny thing is with me, if I'm working, I'm fine. And, I just got to find that balance of not, working too much or pushing myself too far. And I'm usually all right. But, hey, what's up, Chip? I was wondering if anyone was going to show up. But anyway, so yeah. But man, I took that 1 week off and it just made me so lazy and I just didn't feel like doing anything after that first week. So it was like, man, 1 week turned in, and I got a couple videos up, but man, I was just like, I just didn't feel like doing the live stream anymore. Well, not anyway. I don't know. I was kind of on the fence because I felt like I was running out of topics, and I just wasn't into it. But yeah, after 2 weeks, it's like, man, I got to get back and do the live stream because, whew, it's fun to sit here and get all my stresses out. Chip says, Gravinder and I have been doing our own conversation the last 2 weeks. Right on. It's all a community, man. We got to stick together. Yeah, yeah. Right on, right on. Man, that's the other thing. I've had this cough, and man, it just won't go away. Whew. Man, I took some cough medicine earlier to hopefully break it up or, help me make it through this live stream. But, that's the thing. It's like when you're doing videos that you can edit, when you cough, you can edit those coughs out and then, redo the take and all that stuff. And it's not that bad. But live, I just didn't want to sit here and cough the whole time like I'm doing right now. But anyway, I was going back and I was looking. And man, I can't believe I've been doing these live streams over a year. I think the first one was like August 26th or something like that. And man, whoo, the first 3 or 4 were really bad. Man, I'm talking bad. But, like knife making and like my videos and like everything else, you learn as you go and you get better as you go and things carry on. And yeah, man. But this week, man, it was like this week was almost a jinx for me, or the last video. And luckily, I'd say like 2 months ago, I was doing a video and I was uploading the stuff, and all of a sudden all my files disappeared. So it was like, luckily I had them in a way that I could actually save it. They weren't as good files, but they were the same files. And so I started buying extra cards. So, when I record my videos, I would save those cards. So if something happened, I could just put the cards back in and have my files all back. Well, let's see. I guess it was Friday. Yeah, Friday, because I uploaded Saturday. I was sitting there editing and my files disappeared. And not just from one camera. Usually it's like one camera, the files will disappear. And so, and one time I couldn't save the files, so I just had to like take all that camera footage out. This time, 2 cameras files disappeared. I put them back on, and then they disappeared again like 3 times. So if I didn't have everything backed up, then man, there would have been no video, because it was like 2 cameras out of 3, there's no video. When you do 3 shots, you need, at least with me, I'm always missing one camera or the other. And usually the files that disappear are the files of the important camera. But, so yeah. So yesterday I decided, well, I guess it was Friday after this happened, since I know about computers and how to build computers, I realized a lot of the times in any kind of wiring, it's the cable. The cable is the weakest point. And with hey, what's up, Billy Martin? Gravinder? How's everyone doing? Just got on a rant, and with computers these days, they have these new drives called M.2 NVMEs that go right onto the computer mainframe. There's no cables. So I'm taking all my drives out that have any cables, and hopefully that'll alleviate some of, the problems of losing these files. But also I could take the hard drives that are in there, because one is an SSD. The stuff that I keep my main, my main video files on is an SSD, which is really fast. It's like 10 times faster than a regular hard drive. So now I can use that as an external drive, and instead of keeping everything on these little cards, I'll just keep the whole project on an external thing, so if something happens in the computer, I'll have it backed up on an external thing. And if that goes, and the cards go, then I guess that video wasn't meant to be. Oh, man. But yeah, so I can't believe I've been doing this live stream a year. It just doesn't seem like a year. And the funny, well, the awesome thing, and, I owe all you guys a lot of thanks, is the first one I did, it was like 700 subscribers, and I was like, I reached 700 subscribers, and that was last August 26th. And here, October, I'm just about to hit 2,600, so that's almost 2,000 subscribers in a little less than a year, and man, I really appreciate it. It's all thanks to you guys, so that means a lot. So, yeah, but I think I need to, I think I needed that 2-week break just to reevaluate everything. But man, I'll tell you what, I think a lot of it because I was just changing so much of my habits. Like, I stopped eating all the sugar, candy, and all that stuff. And I started playing drums every day. And my drumming, improved exponentially. It was, getting better and better and better. And I got that from watching that Joe Rogan podcast where the guy's like, you need to train every day. If you train every day, it's better than training every other day. And Joe Rogan, I should have listened, Joe Rogan's like, I don't really know about that. So lately I've been doing every other day. And it's true, your body needs to heal. Your muscles need to heal. I was just, doing too much at once. And so it's been a lot better, taking a day off every other day. And because, man, I love playing the drums. Plus, I've got up to 45 minutes to an hour of playing drums straight. And, playing drums, I do double bass, so both my feet are moving, both my arms are moving. And that's my only holdback is this arm, because of the way I have to hold the stick, like this, to play the cymbals and stuff. My wrist gets really locked up, so I have to take a little break there. But other than that, I could probably play for 3 hours straight. Yeah, right, dream on. Chip says, I don't have any idea how you learn that computer stuff. Well, Chip, you know how I learned the computer stuff? I got a degree in 1992, 91. Yeah, I got my degree in computers. Because I've always been good at electronics, and anything I bought electronic, I had to take it apart before I played with it. That was my enjoyment. I didn't like playing with it as much as I did taking it apart. Even in the 80s, I had a Commodore 64 and stuff like that. So I always had, computers and stuff like that. And And I should have really gone, I think I've talked about this before. I should have gone into music if I was going to go to college. I should have gone to college for music instead of computers. But everyone's like, oh man, you're so good at computers, and there's going to be so much money in computers, and you have to be in the money, and money, money, money. And I got good grades at computers, and I got my degree, and then I became a carpenter because, it's just, I'm not a corporate person. And I'm not good at going and finding jobs. I think I've talked about that before because, my friend's just like, here, come build houses with me. All right, no problem. So, but I do love, and the thing is, that was the 90s, and I didn't work on computers for years. Like I got my mom, or my mom got one, so I had to help her with that whenever problems was. But until like 2006, 2007, I started getting back into computers and learning and more. So I had the foundation, which made it easier to learn computers. But, things progress. It's a whole different thing, but it's basically the same too. But yeah, between music, knives, computers, electronics, I love knowledge, and, it's all about learning. So, which, I guess that's just something built into me, which is actually, it's kind of funny because, the social part, which I've talked about before, I had a guy contacting me, and I guess he's just starting out on YouTube, and he's a knife maker. Let's see, what's his name? I put it down here somewhere. Oh, Shadow Knives. So go check him out. And I told him I'd give him a shout out, but he's like, hey man, can you give me a shout out, or do you want to do a collab? And I'll be honest, honesty right here. When people ask me stuff like that, my first reaction is kind of like anger and jealousy, because I don't have that in me. I talk to all these guys like Jeremy, Simple Little Life, Alex Steele. I don't know them, but I've talked to them all. And, like Laws, that last collab, Laws contacted me. Sam from Firekeeper Forge contacted me about a collab. Steve Miller Knives. I don't have that in me to be like, I'll talk to people every day or something, but I just don't have that part of me to be like, hey, you want to do a collab, or hey man, can you mention me in your videos or stuff? And man, it makes me jealous. And even like Heath, Heath from Shepherd's Forge, about 4 months ago, he's like, man, there's this guy I want you to meet and I want you to collab with because he's an awesome knife maker. And I had to spend like an hour trying to explain to him that I just can't reach out to people. And he's like, here, man, here's his number. You got to contact him, man. You guys would get along great. And it's the weirdest thing, because it's like I turn into like a little child, like hiding behind my mom's back when I'm like 5 years old when she's trying to introduce me to people. It's like I just don't have that in me. And, so the helpful part of me takes over. It's like, look, you remember what it was like when you were struggling and when you were starting out, and how it would have been if someone would have just helped you out a little bit. So I love doing it. But man, my first reaction is just like anger and jealousy, because I don't have that part of me, if that makes sense, where I can just reach out to someone bigger than me or farther along in the journey to be like, hey, can you help me out? Can you give me a shout out? Can you mention me? Hey, you want to do a collab? Or even someone on the same level. It's like, man, I get so jealous when I see people that have that in them. And it goes for sales, all that stuff. It's just like, man, I'm like a timid little child when it comes to any of that stuff. Trying to put myself out there, I just feel ridiculous, and I don't, and it's hard to explain to people. Like I said, the Heath was trying to get me to do it, and I just couldn't explain to him, look, man, and part of me is, and as I'm explaining to him, I'm wanting him to say, okay, well, I'll do it for you. I'll have him contact you. But, it didn't happen, and it's probably good, because, that doesn't help me. Doing stuff for me doesn't help me overcome that. And I don't know if I'll ever overcome it. Like I talked about a few months ago, every time I go shopping, You know, I try to say hi to people, and, you know, I've always, like, looked them in the eye and been like, you know, give them the head nod, but now I try to go out of my way to do conversations and stuff. It's just, man, and people just don't seem to understand it because they see me on camera talking, and it's just like, oh, man, you know, it's easy to talk to a camera, or it's easy to get up on stage for me and talk to 1,000 people. I have no problem with that. Whew. Let's see. Hey, Laws, what's up? We were just talking about you, or I was just talking about you. Your ears must have been burning. I was talking about doing collabs and how I'm horrible at reaching out to people and stuff, and, you know, I'm so glad you reached out to me and Sam and all them guys that I've done collabs with, but that's pretty ironic. That's funny. I haven't seen you in a while, Laws, on YouTube or anything. I hope everything's going good. Oh, man. Right on, right on. Oh, man. So, funny thing is, since I did that Dexter knife, I've had like 4 people contact me asking me to make another, you know, make one for them. And, I don't know. I don't want to be a prop knife guy. I mean, it wasn't a hard build. I just don't want that to be so. But I'm not going to say no. So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll make it for you for like $500. They're like, let me save up and get back to you on that one. So, yeah, man, I mean, I couldn't believe people just, hey, you know, I think it's because it's Halloween coming up. And they're like, hey, can you get this? Can you make me one? I need it for Halloween. And it's like, sure I can. $500. Because I'm not going to say no to work, but if they want me to do it, then hey, they're going to have to pay. By the way, if you guys didn't see on Instagram, I'm getting there. I had to redo this one. I don't know what I did with the other one, but I put it on the lathe. And I was holding it by the small piece, and all of a sudden it just like crumbled and spilled out and all that, so I had to make another one. So I just made it small to start with. I'm getting really good at these end caps. This is the 3rd one I've made, but yeah, man, it's starting to feel good. Now comes the part I hate, all the finish work. And this is going to be a lot of finish work, man. A lot of hand sanding. Need to find me an apprentice to come hand sand stuff for me. But I think what I'm going to do, since I don't know how to make leather sheaths and stuff, I was looking online, and there's a guy that does leather work like 4 or 5 miles from here, and I'm going to ask him, hey, if I make the sheath, you know, how much will it cost for him to sew it up? Because that's the, you know, I don't mind, I just don't have patience for sewing and stuff like that, so I think that would be the hard part for me. Shaping it and all that would be fun, but yeah. So I think it'd be a pretty good idea, and then I'll just add it into the cost of the knife and all that. But yeah, it's coming along. It's man, it's going pretty smooth, and I'm always afraid to say that because then I'm gonna jinx myself and mess something up. But at least now I know how to do it. If I do have to redo something, at least now I know. Law says he's making a knife soon to do the ABS. Oh, right on. Sweet. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Billy Martin. Hey, Dave, I'm going to send you a few pictures of my knives. Let me know what you think. Yeah, you know, my email's down in the description. That'd be awesome. You know, there's a fine line on that. And I think I've talked about that before. When people send me pictures of their knives, it's like, do they really want to know what I think about it, or do they want me to tell them how good they look? And I'm saying this in general. I'm not saying this personalized, because from the internet and from all this social media, people have a tendency of not telling people the truth. Like, oh, this needs to be fixed, or this needs to be worked on, but all they say is, hey, that looks great, because that's become the social norm. people don't want to tell people, oh man, you messed up badly right here. Which I don't want to do either, but, you know, I'll take a look at them. But, hey, what's up, Aaron? Made it. Yeah, man. Billy Martin says he's all right at leatherwork. You see, I haven't tried it. You know, it's funny in yesterday's video. I think it was yesterday's video when I'm saying, all right, I've got a. Oh yeah, it was. It's a tang part, and I was like, I gotta file this down. I'm like, yeah, like I'm gonna break out a file. Every time I watch that, I start cracking up. It's like, you know, you're supposed to pull out a file, but not me. I gotta go to the grinder. It's like, oh man. And it was just like a response I said. It's like, all right, I pulled out the files. It's like, yeah, right, me pulling out a file. Just like me hand sanding. Yeah, right. I'll do everything possible not to hand sand. But it's gotta be done, especially on this knife. Whew. Which, you know, I was talking earlier about taking those 2 weeks off. And you guys, if you've been here a while, you know I watch Gary Vee a lot. And man, he said this inspirational thing. And I was going to call this live stream blessed. But I try to keep religion and God out of it. Even though I believe in God and I'm not a religious person. When you tend to say blessed, people start being like, oh, there is no God, or your God is wrong, and blah, 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 blah. So I called it miracles. Because, man, the one thing that got me through after watching that Gary Vee thing, it's like, no matter how bad things get, or how tough things get, you got to remember, the fact that you're here, period, is a miracle. You know, whether you call it being blessed that you're here, that, you know, whatever you want to say, whatever you believe or don't believe in, just the fact that not only did you wake up today, the fact that we're here, period, and that we've come so far, it's like a miracle a lot of people forget about, and I forget about a lot of times. You know, I mean, think about so many people today that just didn't wake up. You know, yesterday was their last day. That in itself is a miracle. The fact that you were born, all the things you went through in life, everything, every part of it, good or bad, has led us to this point right here. And man, you know, and a lot of people, sorry, what's your thoughts on the scabbard? They look, yeah, I like the way they look. I don't know much about them though, to be honest, Gravinder. But, anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. Yeah, you know, and a lot of people take bad things in life. Like, man, I've had a lot of bad things happen to me, but I would say 90 to 95% of those bad things was where I put myself or the situation I brought on myself or things I did, but I wanted to blame other people. But a lot of these bad things that were out of my control, you know, really made me a stronger person after I pulled through them and made it out of those things. And a lot of good things, you know, shaped who I am today. You know, like I was blessed to have the parents I did. You know, if you look at my personality, I get my personality, my laughing and all that from my dad. You know, he was always upbeat, even though, you know, he was in World War II and on all these, you know, missions in the Navy. He was CIA and went through a whole bunch of bad stuff. And, you know, the first daughter they had died at 3 months old. And, you know, he went to church every single day and all this stuff. But he was always upbeat. You know, he was always happy. And I think that's where I got it. Now, the thinking and the crazy part I get from my mom. But, you know, and they always gave me a lot. And they always taught me morals. They always taught me, you know, you have to help other people. Before you help yourself, help other people. Which, you know, took me a long time to realize, you know, for a long time I stopped because it's like, oh, the only reason people want me around is because I'm helping them. And it started to turn from, you know, helping people to them coming around and using you. Because a lot of people see happiness and someone helping as a weakness that they can take advantage of. And then after years and years of that, I realized, man, these couple of people have just ruined that part of me. And it's ridiculous. I'm letting these people control how I help many other people. Why should I let 3 or 4 people that are spoiling things ruin it for a lot of other people, including myself? Because I get joy out of making knives and videos and helping people. So, you know, it took me taking that break of 2 weeks and stuff to realize, man, just the miracles we have. You know, we tend to look at the bad things that happen to us when, man, there's so many good things on top of it. You know, just the fact that we wake up is the best thing that could ever happen to us. So, yeah, man, it's something that's easily forgotten. So I call it miracles. You know, I mean, honestly, I call it being blessed because I believe in God and stuff. But, you know, talking about being blessed and all that stuff, it opens the book for people to be like, oh, well, there is no God and blah, 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 or your God is wrong, or you should believe in my God. And I just don't like getting into that, you know. I believe what I believe, and you believe what you believe, and let's keep it at that, you know. If you don't want to believe in something, hey, that's fine. Don't believe in it. You know, it's not my place to tell you who or what to think about life. I just want you to realize, man, the fact that you woke up today and are here is amazing. You know, it shouldn't happen. You know, there could be just one little thing different and everything is gone, you know. I know I've been on the edge of, you know, my heart surgery. Boom. Something could have gone wrong in surgery and I wouldn't have been here. You know, anything, little things. You know, you make a right turn instead of a left turn and you get hit by a car and you're gone. You know, all these little things we take for granted, but it could happen. But anyway, I have to put that out there because, man, I myself forget. I forget a lot that, man, just breathing is the reason to be happy. Or to, you know, because you get depressed, you get down, but, man, you forget what's important. Oh, man. Thanks. Thanks. I'm reading that. I'm thinking I'm reading. I haven't been... Billy Martin, why don't you go live and do some work while you are live? Because I have to edit it out. No, because honestly, it's boring. You know, it's not something, you believe me, there's a reason my videos take like 5 or 6 hours to edit, because there's a lot of me thinking, you know, a lot of the thinking stuff I cut out. So to sit there and watch me be like this for an hour, trying to figure out what I'm going to do, being like, oh, you know, when I cut it and I edit it, it looks like I came up with that thought in 2 minutes, but a lot of times I'm cutting out 5 or 10 minutes, or sitting at the grinder. You know, I cut 10-minute chunks down to like 2 minutes. I try to keep my grinding, that high-speed grinding, into like 1 minute, because anything over 1 minute gets boring. So, you know, doing stuff live, it's like forging, you know, there's a lot of guys that do live stuff, you know, forging live. Like Alex Steele used to do live forging stuff. And, but he had other people, like he had Sam running the camera. And it's different if you got like a couple people, or if you got stuff that can always be going. But me, I'm a thinker, so I need some time to think. And just like if I didn't have my notes here, I'd probably be just sitting here staring at the camera. So, Billy Martin, that's good how we learn by seeing how people come up with the stuff, good and bad. Yeah, see, it's just, man, it live is just, plus, well, there's, the other reason I don't do live is because I have so many cameras. And, you know, I'd have to do something and I'd have to run back and switch it to the camera. Like I just, as I stutter my way through. See, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. Like, if I had someone to sit here at the computer and switch between cameras and stuff, then it would make doing a live stream a lot easier. You know, because doing one camera isn't as interesting, and you'd be seeing me off camera a lot because I have the wrong camera going. It's just a lot to it. I've thought about it, but, you know. So, it would be fun if I had someone like me that knew how to run computers. If I had someone as awesome as I am. Oh, man. The conceited Dave had to come out, right? I think that would be another part of it that would be hard. Because I'm a control freak, and they would have to be able to do it just like I wanted it. And that's like the editing thing, you know. Casey Neistat says that. No one can edit my videos because they have to be like I want them, not how they put them. So, you know. In fact, on one of my Facebook groups, Jim Skelton put up a post, and he's like, I think it's like, if you're on Facebook, it's called like knife making a hobby. But he put up this picture. He's like, anyone that thinks you need all these tools to make knives, look at it. And it was like a really nice stiletto with all this really nice finish work, and it was all done with files and stuff. And I wrote him, you know, I've seen people do the opposite, where they want to be a knife maker, so they spend all this money and they buy all the best equipment right off the bat. And it's like, bam, new grinder, new this, new that. Everything's top of the line. And then in like 3 months, they're like, oh, well, my tools aren't working right. And they sell everything and they give up knife making. And just like that guy that contacted me earlier about how he's starting a YouTube channel, when he said that, and, you know, do you want to do a collab and all that? I was like, yeah, sure. And I told him, look, it's great you want to do a YouTube channel, and it's great you want to be a YouTuber, but I think before you really start wanting to be a YouTuber, now, you know, there's a difference between uploading videos, like I've talked about that before. If you want to see your progression as a knife maker, use your camera or your video, your camera, use your phone camera and video record yourself and upload it to YouTube, because YouTube is a big storage space and it gets all that storage off your camera. But that's just to see your progression and as like a hobbyist person doing videos on YouTube. If you want to become a YouTuber, man, it's you know, you have to be an Instagrammer, you have to be a Facebooker. Now I'm on TikTok. Man, my TikTok, I've already got like 1,500 subscribers. I don't know how that happened, but the thing I cared about most, the thing I didn't really care about is just like blowing up, but whew, it's awesome. Oh, Billy Martin, all right, take it easy. One more camera, I'll let you know. Won't be able to twist your arm. It would be nice to see you. Take it easy. Man, I'm trying to read and think of all this at once. But yeah, so I told the guys, like, look, you know, I'll give you a shout out and I'll help you and all that stuff. And I have no problem helping people and all that. But I think people's expectations of being a YouTuber is a lot different than seeing what people do on YouTube. You know, like I said, in the last year, I've gotten like 2,000 subscribers. To me, that's nothing. But to this guy, he's like, you're already established in all this. But he doesn't realize, okay, I'm down here shooting. At least now I've got my whole room set up where it's camera rigged, so I can just lock the cameras in wherever I want. So setup is cut like down by 10 times. So that's easy. So shooting, but even though I got them set up, I still got to make sure every shot is in focus, every shot is centered right, and all that stuff. So on top of every hour of knife making, I've got an extra hour of setup for my cameras. That's the shooting part. Then I take my cameras, and then I got 4 to 5 hours of each, for each hour or two of stuff I shoot, I've got 4 to 5 hours of editing that down and making it look good and making it exciting so people are just like, oh, I don't want to watch this. And then, then once you get your video uploaded and all that stuff, then it just starts, because then you got to promote it. You got to put it everywhere. You got to, make sure it's on every social media platform as much as possible. So, it's not like, oh yeah, I'll just upload a video and I'll get 1,000 people watching it. So, whew, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh man. Whoa, we've almost made it to the 40-minute mark. I think that's another thing I'm going to stop doing, even though I just did it, is stop watching my time, because I think that was one thing that was putting pressure on me where I shouldn't have worried about it. If I do a 20-minute live stream, then hey, that 20 minutes should be fine. And yeah, that's how it goes. Oh man. Oh, so I'll end with this one. I've got a couple more subjects, but I'll end with this one. I talked about Google Ads a lot. If you are a YouTuber, so they're just talking about the whole YouTube thing. And if you know YouTube, they kind of frown down on knives and guns and stuff. So I was kind of, lately, if you go back like last month, you'll see like a lot of my videos only had like 200 views. And then all of a sudden they started climbing back up to 1,000, 2,000 because I started using Google Ads again. And I'm trying to find this balance to see, and that's another part of being a YouTuber, trying to figure out all the analytics and what you have to do to get this person to promote it or to get YouTube to push it out there, and watch time versus views. But anyway, I digress. So I was looking on Google Ads, and I started, instead of just, because before I was like, oh man, I can't put anything about knives on there or knife related stuff because it's just gonna, they won't push it. They'll say, inappropriate ad cannot be whatever, they won't do it. So I started looking at keywords. So I was like camping, fishing, and I was like, outdoor stuff. And it's like boom, 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 boom. And then hunting came up. I was like, hunting? How can, it's like, what do you mean hunting? So so lately I've been using the keywords and stuff like that, fishing, hunting, camping. But I couldn't believe hunting when they don't promote guns or knives. I wish I would have known this last year, because yeah, it's easier to target, where your ads go instead of just putting them out for everyone to watch. But anyway, Billy Martin. Oh, SLG Foxy. Hey, it's been a while. Hope everything's been going good with you. Right on, right on, right on. Oh, I see. Billy Martin, I thought you were saying see you later, like you were taking off, but Lowe's had to take off. Right on. Oh, man. I still need to get my eyes checked. Takes time to get YouTube channel going. You have been for a year and only put out 8 videos and only have takes a lot. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Consistency is a huge thing. And I've talked about, you can use Google Ads. I mean, I think it's like for me. But, you know, I put out 3 videos a week. So it comes out to about $100 a week or something like that. You know, a little bit less, a little bit more sometimes. But, yeah, if you're going to be a YouTuber, you can't just put out like a video here, a video there, and expect to get traction. You know, if the people that subscribe to you, they're going to want to come back and subscribe to you and watch your content. Because YouTube has this whole algorithm. And if you go in your subscriber things, if you haven't watched someone for a while, but, you know, you're still subscribed to them, that doesn't mean they're going to come up in your feed. So, yeah, I mean, I understand you can't put out videos, you know, whatever. But if you put out 1 a week, you know, it'll double your chances if you do it every other week or once a month. You know, the more you put out, the more traction you'll get. But you also have to promote it. You have to, you know, go on Instagram. You have to go on Facebook. You have to go on all these other platforms and tell people, hey. But you can't, see, and that's the fine line of the gray area. You can't only go on Instagram and be like, hey, here's my video on YouTube, go check it out. You know, so you have to put out as much content on, you know, I post on Instagram daily, you know. Usually like 4 or 5 times a day I post on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all these things. I'm posting every day, you know, every day, 4 or 5 times a day. And then, boom, then, you know, 3 times out of those, you know, 4 times a day, and then 3 times a week, I'm like, here's my video coming out. I'll throw a video into one of those things. So, yeah. Yeah. Billy Martin, consistency and promotion. It's all about that. That's the only way to get it. You know, and it's not just consistency on YouTube. It's consistency everywhere. You have to build your audience everywhere, and it's all social media. It all connects. You know, so it's the only way to do it. You can't just put out a video and be like, oh, I'm not getting any views. Well, of course you're not getting any views. People don't know about you. You know, so, oh, man. Whew. It's good to be back. I'll tell you what. This was a fun live stream, and, man, I hope I can get them going back to every week again, because I just got to remember to write things down. Because I was just, like I said in the beginning of this, if you go back to like my last 2 live streams, you could see I was just like not into it. You know, the lazy bug and catching the lazy bug and this and that. And I just wasn't myself. So that 2 weeks really helped and all that stuff. And man, I appreciate everyone showing up and all the comments and everything going. And, you know, it really means a lot. Like I said, I started this live stream last August 26th with 700 subscribers, and now I'm almost to 2,600. So, man, I thank you guys a lot. Man, that means so much. You guys show up, and we've became like a family here, and, you know, people talking to each other, not even on the live stream, and hanging out with each other and helping each other out. And man, that means a lot. That you know, through all my jealousy and all that, I love helping people out. But all right, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming by. I got shirts on my website. The website link will be up here. Here comes all the shills. Man, I wish I just had someone that could just sell everything for me so I could stop doing it. I think I get more annoyed by these little talks, the little outro things, than probably you guys. You guys are probably just like, oh, another outro. I'm like, ah. All right. So, yeah, knives are on my website. It's the first link in the description. Knives are on there. Shirts are on there. Amazon links are in the description and on the website. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. all that crazy stuff we have to tell you because we're YouTubers. All right. I really appreciate all this. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a great week, great day. Yeah, man. Just remember, man, we're all miracles, or we're all blessed, whichever one you want to believe. Right on. Thanks again, and as always, take it easy. I almost forgot.